Hello and welcome to this week's Comic Roast. I'm your host, Scott. You can find me on Twitter at XOrSonX, and I'm here with Mike. You can find on Twitter at Review and Roast.
Yep.
Boom. Don't forget to check out our Facebook, facebook.com/Review and Roast. And you can check out all of our podcasts at comicroast.com, all of our written reviews at reviewandroast.com, and just search the Google for The Review and Roast, and you'll find all of our goods.
Yep.
Gross. Today, we are continuing on with the Hunt for Wolverine with Adamantium Agenda number 1. Mike has the synopsis. I'll let him synopsis. No?
I mean, years ago, Wolverine was part of a team of Avengers with Iron Man, Spider-Man, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones. Today, Wolverine's body is missing from its final resting place. Although Wolverine is dead, his secrets live on.
That's it?
Fucking, what more do you need?
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dot, dot, dot.
Leaves
Right.
a transmitter. Circles the globe in search of a listener. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
So yeah, jumping right into this thing. We're putting teams together.
Yep. This is going to be
Here's another
the
one.
Avengers team, basically.
Yeah, so long
Kind
or the
of.
short is, it's something very similar. The book opens up with that exact flashback from years ago where Jessica, Luke, Spider-Man, and Wolverine happen to be going to a place to do some stuff and save people from a bomb. And nobody can take care of it but Wolverine, as per usual. So the bomb is going to kill people, but he can't die, yada, yada.
Or can he?
That old chestnut. So, he does the thing and flash forward to the future. Yep. So, basically...
You're looking at me. What the fuck you want me to say?
yeah, well, something. Anything. You know, side note, I kind of miss Red and Silver Iron Man. I wish they would bring back, like, a new version of Iron Man, except for, like, silver and red. Because that was, like, my favorite look. And ever since it went gold and red, it was, like, silver and red again once in, like, I don't even know, like, late 90s. Quick thought.
Yeah,
That's all. That's all I got.
Do you need
So-
a tissue? Or
A little bit. So we get into, basically now, Tony's putting together a team. Tony Stark. He's putting together a team. Calls Peter Parker. Hey, what's happening?
Peter Parker.
Calls Luke and Jessica, who have a child together, for those that don't know. And he monitors the black market frequently because he wants to make sure his tech doesn't get nowhere that it ain't supposed to be. And he gets word that there is, all of a sudden, coincidentally enough, mutant DNA available on the black market from some mystery
That's
awesome
hinted at
person.
It hinted at superhero DNA.
Oh, yeah. Mystery, obviously, superhero DNA. That is on the black market, and he's going to infiltrate with his new team. Puts together the team actually a lot easier than everybody else did.
Well, I feel like
'Cause
they've
everyone-
already been a team.
Yeah,
You know what I
and when Tony talks, people normally are like, yeah, I'll just do it because I don't want to make you too mad. So that's basically the gist of that. So he grabs the trio along with himself, and it is a submarine meeting in the middle of who knows where. Actually, it's 100 miles off the coast of Guam. For those that who knows where, and I'm literally staring at the comic right now. I'm saying I'm a lot.
Yeah, you are.
So,
And ill.
so we are. Imagine, if you will, we're in a submarine.
A highly pressurized
Yeah.
canister, miles under the sea.
So we're going through this. They're trying to arrange the meeting, figuring out who's doing what here, and that's it. I mean, legit, we're going to a black market meeting on a sub. We basically finish before this meeting is even over when we find out who the mystery superhero is. Spoilers, it ain't Wolverine. Not spoiler, I ain't telling you who it is.
I was about to hit the mark button because I thought you were about to.
No, I'm not gonna drop. I'm not gonna drop big bombs. Just nuggets.
Gross. Yeah, that's kind of the gist of this whole book. I mean, it's
And this book, I I like, I dislike, I'm indifferent. Is actually
I'll tell you
my
one thing I
real-
super duper liked about this.
Which one?
Was when they
Spider-Man?
were in the past and they were like, "Come on, who has?" When Wolverine was like, yeah, that super mutant spider that bit you didn't give you the ability to live through a bomb." He's like, "How did you know about that?" And then
Oh,
Wolverine's
yeah.
all like, "All right, raise your hand if you've never heard the Spider-Man origin story a million fucking times." And everyone's like, "Yep, we all
Actually, I
heard
totally
that."
forgot about that.
That was the
actually
fucking
hilarious.
That was the best thing.
I was actually
I've ever
laughing
read.
for real.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, raise your hand if
And it just the one human agent was like, "Me."
Yeah.
Everyone else was like, "Yeah, we've been there, done that." And here's, if you remember last week when I was saying that there's things that about the Daredevil book that made it so much better. This book is a prime example because I mean I understand it's a Marvel comic and it's technically geared for kids, even though it's mostly 40-year-old fucking losers like myself reading them. They
Not
can't
me.
really swear, right? You know what I mean? This book goes out of their way to be all like, "Ooh, poppycock."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is so...
Well, they drop a lot
Fracking.
of
Hashtag question mark at
Not
sign.
in this.
at the very end. They do.
They do that a lot.
Yeah.
In the Daredevil one, and this is where it's interesting to see these stories from different writers' points of view, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Is if they are going to drop those bombs, they do the question mark, exclamation point, hashtag a lot more, I feel, in some of the other books, or they just try to stay away from dialogue that's going vulgar, I guess is
Right.
the way to put it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a way that you can keep the book more of a darker, I don't want to say adult themed, but, you can keep it more of a heavy story without using that kind of language. But when you purposely go out of your way and be like, "Oh, gee willikers," it's like, dude, this isn't 1950. Like, don't do that. And that's where this book lost some points for me.
Yeah, I
personally.
actually didn't even really care much about that part. I just cared that it was, for a lot of pages, I feel like we didn't really get a lot done, with the exception of the intro flashback, yada, yada, yada.
But even that didn't get
this-
resolved. We don't know what happened.
Right. Yeah, I mean, obviously he made it.
How do you know? That might have been when he died.
I don't know if y'all can see my face right now. But it's disappointed.
So anyways, I just thought we went through a lot of stuff and didn't really get anything out of it. Just hanging out at this meeting, doing fuck all.
Waiting for the meeting
One
to
thing
start.
I did love, though, was everybody was walking up, and Tony's like, "Hey, time to put your masks on." Spider-Man's already wearing his mask, but then he puts a mask on
Over it. That's kind of like the mask.
I thought that too, but if you look later on, he's not wearing his Spider-Man
Oh, he
mask
isn't.
underneath.
He isn't wearing it underneath. All
But
right.
when they're pulling
I
up
do
on
see
the
that.
boat, like everyone is just dressed like
he's
like
wearing
in their fancy attire.
He's
but
wearing
he-
a shirt and tie and
Yeah.
a Spider-Man mask,
which was always
which he could have just left on. I'm saying
true because that guy had like the
the other guy was wearing an Iron Man mask.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't the full helmet, but it
Yeah.
was like a mask, and that was always like a cosplay idea for me. I was like, dude, I should just buy
you can
the
totally
fucking-
be
business suit
the
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man head and hands, and then wear a suit and carry a
Yeah.
briefcase, and I'll be business Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I never
All
did
business
it
Spider-Man.
because I don't have a suit and I ain't spending dough like that. Just to
And you're also
cosplay.
not all business, so
I could be if I got a mullet.
I don't think you would be.
Business in the front.
I mean, I do feel like Luke Cage should have changed his yellow shirt because he is,
Obvious.
my opinion. But anywho,
Eh.
that's about
As
that.
long as you're wearing a mask, it's not, I guess, unlike to see a large dude in a group of supervillains, I guess. You know what I mean?
Getting to it, though, I guess, long story short, I was less than impressed with this. I was hoping for more, and that's because I knew that this was the one that was going to have Iron Man, who is me favorite. So, I was
Well,
kinda,
it's a really weird.
and to be honest, I love Spider-Man.
well,
really
and
do.
like you said before, like this is a group that's been together before. I had no idea that Iron Man and Spider-Man ever teamed up with
Oh, really?
Luke Cage and Jessica Jones.
Oh.
No idea that was
Well,
ever
Iron Man
a
and
thing.
Spider-Man did a lot. This was a thing. Yeah, this is just an implied thing.
So that never actually happened?
It did. I don't remember the comics in which it did.
It was probably when you took your break.
My hiatus.
Yeah.
So
And if that was ever a thing, that's super neat, and that super was intriguing to me to see all like because those are characters that they exist together, but you never see them together.
Well, it's one of those things where Spider-Man's kind of that like the mayor of Marvel, so he's sort of always bopping in and out of shit. So he runs around with those street level guys.
Well, he started out as a street level guy,
right? So that whole the whole Netflix group is exactly that, and Spider-Man would have been semi-involved at some point in time with all those guys in one way, shape, or form or another. So,
and he still might. You never know. He might pop in.
Very well could, and that would be the craziest, awesome shit that ever happened.
Yeah, it doesn't. And I don't want to see him every week either.
Well, because
every
they also do include the one thing I like about Netflix Marvel, and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Marvel show on ABC. Is they acknowledge the movies, although they don't have the characters in them. So they acknowledge all the events that take place, which I'm going to be interested. Well, see now, here's the thing. So, having said that, is Luke Cage before Infinity War? Interesting.
Oh, season 2, you mean?
Yep.
Right by the third episode, he just kind of fizzles away.
Since it's come out after, because I just finished season.
That's how it's going to end.
Yeah, right.
And the final episode,
dust.
he's just going to start turning to dust. Sweet Christmas.
Yeah.
And he's going to fucking float away.
Well, because they heavily bring it up in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I believe the season that just ended is the 5th season.
Did anybody disappear?
No, because it basically is going to happen
Soon.
like day after tomorrow. So like they acknowledge the fact that there's a Titan named Thanos wreaking havoc like right now on Earth.
Oh.
So but they're in the middle of some other shenanigans, and so spoilers if you haven't watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I know I'm a bit off topic, but we're talking here. The main villain towards the end of season 5 feels that he needs to become as strong as possible to actually go fight Thanos, to be honest.
That's not much of a spoiler. I'm okay with it.
No, so it's and obviously Coulson and the gang are trying to stop him because their whole thing was the beginning of the show starts off with them in the future, and the Earth
Beginning
has been,
of this season or
Yeah,
the show?
this season.
Okay, I was going to say because the first 2, I know I watched the first 2 seasons.
Yeah. Well, they
Maybe
start
the
off
third.
in the future, and the Earth has been cracked literally in half. So they make their way back in time, and they're trying to prevent the Earth from being cracked. But this guy who's trying to become strong enough to defeat Thanos, they figure out this is probably the dude. So it all makes sense why they're actually involved. They know about the Thanos thing, but they don't have time for that shit because this guy's gonna mess that all up in a minute.
Right.
You know. So
Yeah, one
it's
guy's
actually
only
pretty-
going to kill half of everything. This guy's just going to split Earth.
Well, literally every human
Would
there's
die.
there's 300 left when the show starts. Like in the beginning, because they're in the future and they're all like Kree slaves in the future. Everyone that's left, everyone that lived becomes a Kree slave, basically.
I
It's
don't know.
actually pretty cool. The blue people.
I know it just makes me want to play Legendary now.
Oh. So, anywho, a little bit off topic, but interesting. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is something you should watch if you don't, because it's actually not a bad show, to be honest. It's fun. It's normally pretty witty. A lot of good, funny parts in it. They keep it interesting. They do a lot of Inhuman shit. So, I dig it.
No,
But anyways-
I know I did like it. I just once I got rid of cable and I lost the ability to DVR shit, it fell at a wayside.
Well, it's annoying too because then when you use like Hulu or those other apps, yeah, it's cool because you can have 5 shows in the hopper, but once you get past that one, you physically can't get the other show. And like this season of Gotham, I lost it because I ended up like 3 shows behind. So I reset my DVR. I have 10 shows, but not the first 8. You know what I mean? So it's, well, what am I going to do? Just pick it up halfway. I almost did, but then I'm like, man, so much is going on. I really actually have been enjoying Gotham too, but whatever. Anyways, back to Adamantium Agenda. I think we're pretty much wrapping that up.
yeah.
Things I did like, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. Things I didn't like is what they were doing. It was stupid. So,
Well, I mean, it made sense.
it was just a very bland issue, with
Yeah.
the exception of the opening flashback scene with correct height and proportionate size Wolverine, which I loved.
I loved that part, to be honest, because
Yeah.
a lot of these other books, everyone's drawing them different, which is starting to annoy the shit out of me. I'm gonna be honest. So, even in
we
the
go.
Hunt for Wolverine,
Not my Wolverine.
Okay, yeah, but hold on. Okay, hold on. So, in the Hunt for Wolverine, they show a Wolverine-esque individual who is clearly 6 feet fucking tall, and then in the Adamantium Agenda, the beginning flashback scene, he is clearly 5'4", which he's supposed to be, or
Yeah,
whatever.
he had heels on.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So
Big fucking heels.
I'm a big fan of the fact that we're cross-pollinating here with all the writers and artists and all that good stuff, but we got to decide on a height sooner or later. Just saying.
No, I mean, that'd be nice.
If you're going to be eye to eye with Luke Cage one day and then staring at his nipples the next, I mean, that's weird. I mean, I like nipples. Anyways,
I mean, he's one sweet, sweet Christmas man.
the episode is, or the issue is bland, and I mean, I don't hate the art. I'm not in love with it. Everything
it's-
else was good. Colors are good. I mean, I dig some of the stuff. Honestly, this book's a 6.
No, I couldn't agree more. There's so...
Nothing like
In the
grabbed me
long
and shook
run-
me, except for that joke that you just reminded me of that I forgot of. That was actually hilarious.
In the long run, I do have high hopes for this miniseries.
I think it'll turn around.
But, yeah, this issue just felt like they didn't really get into anything. I mean,
Yeah.
there was the huge drop at the end,
Oh yeah,
and I don't know how
huge
that's going
drop
to
at
play
the end.
into them looking for Wolverine.
The second issue
But-
should actually be super action packed and awesome, and probably good stuff happening.
Yeah,
But
yeah, oh, yeah.
it was a
is gonna be
slow
neat.
ride here, so I think
Yeah.
we'll get there.
Yeah, but yeah, a 6 is about where this probably belongs.
Parasix is doing stuff.
So that was Hunt for Wolverine, Adamantium Agenda number 1. Basically, Tony Stark's team for finding Wolverine. Obviously, check it out if you're into it. If not, you could just check here next month when we have the second issue up, because we're going to be doing these Hunt for Wolverines until we get to the end.
Doing stuff.
And we got a lot of other cool stuff coming down the pipeline. So
What we might start doing is not necessarily bi-weekly, but maybe we'll do two twos at a time. You know what I mean? Like maybe we'll do Weapon Lost and Adamantium in one.
Well,
cast.
eventually we're going to catch up to real time, and then we're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, we do it bi-weekly though.
We could do that to squeeze other
whatever.
stuff in.
Yeah, we'll see.
Either way,
Because these are kind of short and
20 minutes is pretty decent.
Nah.
But anywho, that's a
Yeah, I don't
conversation
think you want to
for
listen to
off
us
there,
longer. Nah, why not?
right? Yeah,
Tell us what you think.
yeah, right. Tweet me at XOrsonX and him at Review.
I'll
and
tell you.
Roast.
Stop your fucking show.
Yeah, right. You guys, you suck.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Stick to movies, fuckface.
right. Speaking of, yeah, actually don't.
Anyways, what
Jesus Christ, I don't even know anymore.
What, where?
As always, you can find me on Twitter at XHorseandX. You can find him at Review and Roast. Check out our Facebook, facebook.com/Review and Roast. We'll probably have to start posting more than just our reviews on there. Be a little more interactive for people.
On which one?
On the Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
And we did not forget about the Star Wars Tabletop Instagram. It's still a thing. We just haven't been doing much gaming.
Yeah, we're going to get back into the gaming. I actually am picking up my mats, so we'll have some more stuff and probably reviews for Legion and other stuff soon.
Well, I was, you figure I was gone last weekend. You're going to be gone for the following couple of days, so, for me it doesn't matter, but for you, your work gets busy if you disappear, so.
Also true.
Anywho, that was that, and see you next week,
Jeez.
right?